I never got to meet my great-grandfather, Frank Rush. In fact, no one I know in the family did, since Frank died in 1934. I do know he was a commercial baker, and he left behind a few artifacts, including his handwritten cookbook. I'm boiling down and making Frank's recipes as a tribute to him and to other family members that we'll never get to meet. I'm Tom Mattingly, and this is Baking with Frank. Okay, y'all, we're back. Welcome to Baking with Frank. So, I've noticed I say so a lot. Anyway, today we're gonna make a sponge cake. Now that's just, cake to you and me. Sponge cake usually being used as a definition in the UK and other places to define it from fruit cake, blah, 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 blah. But this just really means cake and not the angel food cake that we would usually call sponge cake. It was a long way to get there, wasn't it? Okay. So Frank has 5, count them 5, sponge cake recipes. Thankfully, Effie broke them down for us already. So we're gonna use Effie's, which you'll see in the photos, is covered with spots of something. We're not gonna discuss what. So clearly it was one of her favorite recipes, or certainly one that she used quite a bit. It is, I'm gonna say it looks small already. So I have this, it says use a tube pan. I have this vintage tube pan that I was thinking of using. I don't think it's gonna fit in there. So we'll see how it goes. So anyway, let's get to it. So in the bowl, let's just take a look at the bowl. We're gonna do a few things. So first thing is 2 eggs. Now, you will notice, and you cannot be wrong, that the recipe says 3. I had 2 eggs, and I wasn't driving to the store for one more. So, lightly whipped, beaten, using Effie's words, lightly beaten, going in, just like that. And to that, we're gonna add a few things. First one is, I gotta find where to put that, there we go. First one is 1 cup of all-purpose flour. 1 cup of sugar. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then we've got some wet ingredients. So this one, wait a minute, look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Okay, so this one, unlike the lemon cookies, does include lemon as an ingredient. And it asks for 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, I should say. We don't have the extra egg, and I happen to have, from my dear friend Kelly and Michael in Bar Harbor, Maine, some lemon-infused olive oil. So we're going to use 2 teaspoons of lemon, but then also use 1/3 cup of lemon-infused olive oil, which also makes it healthy. So there. So, back to the task at hand. There's the olive oil, there's the lemon going in. And the olive oil. Now, the next thing it says is to add 6 tablespoons. Why they did 6 tablespoons, I don't know. My only guess is Effie was breaking it down like I was, and that was the measure that she had. But it says hot milk. So, milk's going in the microwave. So you can hear the melodious hum of the microwave in the background. And while you're listening to that, you can also hit like and follow. Follow Frank. Frank likes to have companions wherever he goes. So, milk was in the nuclear reactor over there for 1 minute. It is quite hot. It is also not necessarily milk. It is half and half, because if I wasn't going for an egg, I wasn't going for 6 tablespoons of milk. So that's going in. We're not gonna even discuss the little skin that's still there in the bowl. mixed up with some of the other stuff while it was in there. I'm going to incorporate that here slowly because it's hot and I don't want to get splashed. And I mean, am I wrong? Does this look like a really small cake? I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. But what I don't think I'm going to do is use that pan because I don't think it's going to go all the way around it. So we're going to make this a loaf. Because today's improvising day, so I'm going to get a loaf. So, once again with the cell. Here we are with our baking pan, loaf pan, and in goes our lemony, we hope, olive oil, so it's healthy, sponge cake, because America, batter. Now, Effie says to bake in a moderate oven, which I Googled, and it's 350 to 375 degrees. I did 350, which the oven is preheated too. And she says to bake for 45 minutes. So we're gonna start there, see where we get. See you in a few. All right, so the loaf's been in the oven for 45 minutes. It was 45 minutes on the nose and looking really good. We got that cooling back here. Yep, you can see that, there it is. So letting that go. And we are going to make a glaze, topping, something. So I was thinking, you know, what goes good with lemon? And I said, well, you know, lemon or blueberries. Don't have any blueberries. So I Googled it. And the interwebs told me basil. And conveniently, we have basil in the garden. So, here's some fresh basil straight up out of Cincinnati, Ohio earth. I give that a little chickpea chop. Try not to get any blood in there because, you know, knife skills. I gotta tell you, this thing smells fantastic. So if it's half as good as it smells, you may be onto something here, even with my modification. All right, so I'm not trying to get that overly small. Not sure what that is. I'm sure it was some kind of weed. I do know what that is. And then we're gonna use a mom spoon. Spoonful of powdered sugar and a spludge of lemon juice. I'm gonna say that's 2 tablespoons. Let's go with that. I'm just going to, kind of big. Okay, well that's as good as it's gonna get. Put that in there. It's gonna be a heavy basil flavor, I already have a feeling. And give this a little mix-a-boot. I think I'm probably gonna need some more. That smells fantastic. We're gonna go with another spoon of the powdered sugar. And just stir that in and see where we get. You can always add more lemon juice if we need to. Probably gonna have to add a drop or two just because this is looking very thick. So, plug. Let's see how that does. I'm going to say that's 3 tablespoons. Oh, I like that better. So we are going to, while this is hot, we're going to drop it like it's hot. That's for one thing. while this is hot, so that everything soaks in, I am going to pour that on top. I did put some holes in the top here with, I think there's a threatening butterfly. Put some holes in the top here with a toothpick to help it along, but we're gonna do that. See if we can get any more of that out of there, because it does look delicious. Put a little water in there, stir that around. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that soak. I'm gonna let it cool off. Then we're gonna eat cake. All right, y'all. There it is. Yeah, I got a little excited and cut it early. And here's that piece. This is probably the best thing yet. The Frank Effie collaboration here. Spot on. Try this one.